We have one person waiting.
Cool.
Might be me.
Yeah, that would be it. Okay, let's give it a second.
Where's Gonzalez?
It still says waiting for you. Hold on. Yeah. Like if you go to YouTube, maybe I'm in the wrong one. Because you can see it up. Alright. Alright, it shows that you're live. Live now. Oh. Yeah, we're live. I hear it. All right.
Yeah, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Who's in here?
Yeah, who's in here?
Blue-eyed Northern.
Yeah, that's my mom. My mom's here. Mike, meet my mom. You met her once, briefly. What? You're cutting out on me.
This pipe isn't weed. It's me.
Yeah, no, you're fine now. Yeah, it's yeah, he's not smoking weed. We were hanging out playing games last night, and he pulled that out. I'm like, Mike, you don't smoke weed. What the fuck are you doing? And he was like, oh, it's just a pipe I smoke sometimes, you know.
It's called Republican weed.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Old white man weed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how are you guys doing tonight? Everyone doing okay in the chat? Say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Keep in mind that we are, like we discussed last time, we are in the future. We are talking to you about an hour ahead of time. It's kind of like what is that movie with Matthew McConaughey? Where he's the astronaut.
Dallas Buyers Club.
The beach bum.
What's the beach bum?
I forget the name of it right now, but it's the one where there's a lot of time travel and quantum physics involved, and it gets real fucking heady.
Oh, and he misses his daughter.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, except with some guys that smell and look funny. Well, I guess that's also Matthew McConaughey, but whatever. Potato, potato. Yeah. So we are what? Are we week 4 into Corona? Into our lockdown? Is that where we are, Mike?
I think we're week. It was like March.
It was
Yeah.
the week of St. Patrick's Day, so it was like the 15th or the 14th. I got a call at the yacht club. Shout out to the yacht club, by the way. They they said like, man, I don't think we're gonna be able to do karaoke tonight. It's up to you if you want to do it. I just said, let's storm the fucking beach, because if they're gonna shut us down within this week, let's get the money. And then they shut us down that night, so we didn't get the money. But yeah, so I think that's week 4, right? I don't know.
I think it's week 4. I think you're right.
Yeah, time doesn't.
We. Oh, I was gonna say Longfellow decided to close down that night anyway because I don't want to kill anyone that works for me,
True. Yeah.
and I think it would have been funny had you known. You could have done a karaoke brunch matinee. Would have been good.
Actually, that would have been fucking fantastic. If
Just
Mike,
bummed out brunch goers.
if Mike DeWine actually fucking, if he would have gave us the fucking heads up, if he would have told us, hey, all right, we're not gonna tell everyone yet, but we are going to shut down your job here, in a half a day. We could have scrambled. We could have made that happen. That would have been a good fucking idea. Because everyone would have been fucking insane too. That's the thing,
They would have like last hurrah.
Yeah, it'd be like a big last hurrah. It would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah. Everyone would have just been floating their fucking liver, walking out with piles of chicken wings. And
Normally I sing Elvis, but I think I'll sing AC/DC today.
Yeah, it'd be one of those. It'd be one of those afternoons, if anything. Yeah, certainly. But yeah.
Like. All right, welcome.
Yeah.
All right, who's in here?
Yeah, we got 11. Well, we got somewhere around 12 people in here right now. We got a nice dirty dozen here.
I watched that today. I watched the Dirty Dozen today.
That is a great fucking movie.
Awesome movie. Basically, obviously Tarantino likes that movie because what's it called is Inglourious Basterds is a pretty close, an amalgamation of a few of those movies, but mainly Dirty Dozen. But it's funny when I realized that's those stupid memes that are like, how old were you when you realized? And today I had one of those because I've seen the Dirty Dozen probably 20 times.
Yeah.
But they're really called the Dirty Dozen because they refuse to take baths and shave because they won't give them hot water. They're actually dirty. It's not like they're dirty scoundrels. It's like they're unwashed. They're an unbathed dozen.
Yeah, they're not criminals specifically. They're just a little raw, if you will, right?
Well, they are criminals, so it's a double entendre, I guess. But there's a scene where their MP, the MP that's watching over him, he's like, get in line, you dirty dozen, because they all smell and haven't shaved. And
well, I imagine that was common procedure, especially that was World War II, right? That one was. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, they were killing Nazis with hand grenades at the end, and also killing Nazis' dates to this party with hand grenades, which I found very. I mean, I guess you date a Nazi.
Yeah.
If you date a Nazi, you get a grenade.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck you.
I mean, call it a, I guess not an occupational hazard, but it's a hazard. Let's put it that way. A hazard of, I don't know, amore or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Fuck you, Dad. I'm dating a Nazi.
Yeah. Fuck you, Weimar Republic, Dad. I'm gonna.
Yeah, screw you.
I'm gonna get with this Aryan motherfucker and get blown up by a hand grenade thrown by a dude that smells like a bum's nutsack. Yeah.
Also, I realized how. I mean, obviously, Charles Bronson is awesome.
Yeah.
But Charles Bronson is so awesome in that movie.
No, he.
And Telly Savalas is in it. Donald Sutherland, Ernest Borgnine, Lee Marvin is awesome.
I totally forgot.
It's pretty good.
Borgnine was in that, but yeah, Lee Marvin's amazing in that. He's the one I retain the best in that movie. He and Bronson.
If you like testosterone men, watch that.
Oh no,
watch that movie.
it's a classic era in cinema of male action movie heroes. It's pretty fucking good. That is like it's pretty much an ensemble cast, really, if you look at it that way.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And the only women in it are prostitutes, so there's that.
Yeah, there is that.
It's just was a. It's like let's make this movie that guys want to watch, and it's
Yeah.
only guys in it. And then
Guys.
anyway,
Like, we'll throw some chicks in there because we have to, but we're gonna make them prostitutes, you know?
yeah, but they're gonna make them hookers, and
Yeah,
then
make them whores. Yeah, no. I guess it's very 70s thing to do or whatever, but yeah.
but it also one more aside about the Dirty Dozen. It's got my favorite insult in it of all time, which is when some I don't know how to set it up, but you just say never heard. You say never heard of it. So someone's just like talking at you, and you're just like never heard of that. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
It's the best way to just shut someone down.
Actually, I do a version of that all the time. If someone's like, and maybe it's not necessarily politically correct, but it still gets the point across. It gets the same result. Is someone's like, hey, have you ever heard of? And it's clearly like some sort of like male artist or person or something, you know, something. You get the idea, like, or an actor or whatever. Like, I just never heard of her, you know, and clearly the name is like Bob or something. I don't know, never heard of her. Always gets the same effect, and I love it. Feel free to borrow it, but you might get some weird looks. I'd tell you it's all in the delivery, but I don't know what it is. It might be.
It's all about context is everything.
Yeah, context is key. Yeah, you got to use your context clues, guys. Not everything is a soundbite in this world anymore. Speaking.
All right,
of that,
so
yeah.
well, Phil said, Jeremy, turn your mic up.
Okay.
Oh wait, but Phil, should I turn my mic down? I can turn my mic down.
I can turn you down. I can't go up any louder. I guess I can get closer.
I can turn my mic down. Hey, it's like grumpy old men figure out Max.
Oh yeah.
I can turn my mic down.
I can do this. Watch. Here we go.
All right, do it. Yeah. Phil says no. Phil says I'm too loud.
No, I'm talking about turning myself up. I don't know if I just got louder to you, Mike. I don't know. Actually, you're not hearing me the same way they're hearing me, so I'm just gonna do this and.
Oh no, Phil said I'm good. You're too quiet. But what Phil doesn't recognize is that we are bronze gods.
We are.
So anything we do.
Yeah. Apparently, I do got to scream. I'm in the red over here, so I don't know. I'll dick with it as we go. We'll see what happens.
I'm a race car in the red.
Yeah, race car.
All right, so let me.
Oh, here we go. This might work. Did that help? Nice. Oh, we got it perfect. Cool. Okay. Nice. Okay, so let's
wait,
keep
Jeremy,
going.
I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay.
This is my co-host, Jeremy Harrison.
Yeah.
We decided we've been talking for months now about doing a podcast, which I think is probably everyone wants to do a podcast, right? It's like the new I'm going to be a baseball player thing, but we have been talking about it forever. And our first, I guess it's just funny that we're doing it with video attached.
Yeah. We never set out to do this with video, but here we are with video.
Because I have a face for radio, as you can tell by my double chin.
Yeah, so do I.
Look at that thing. You don't have a double chin.
No, I just got weird eyes and shit, you know? I look like fucking E.T., which we'll touch on later.
That's not even true. Fucking hip E.T.
I had someone tell me once, do you have very expressive eyes? I'm like, see, that wouldn't work in podcast form. That works in video.
But yeah, we discussed a Beavis and Butthead type show where we just do it live at the yacht club. We wanted to do it. We're still going to do this.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that.
Oh, also I saw a new. We wanted to. It's too much. But we wanted to do a post-apocalyptic series of videos because for some reason in the '80s there was a ton of post-apocalyptic videos, even into the '90s.
Yeah.
Like if you remember the Tupac Mad Max video.
Yeah, California
like,
Love. It was California.
Yeah, California Love.
And it had Roger Troutman from Zap.
Mm.
He was in it.
Are
Zap.
they from Columbus, Ohio?
They're from. I believe they're from Dayton. I believe they were
Or
from
Dayton,
Dayton. It's
Ohio.
either Columbus or Dayton, but I believe it's Dayton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw, goddamn, what video is it? Oh, there's a fucking insane Duran Duran video where it's all like.
Oh, that's
I
Wild
can't remember.
Boys. It's Wild Boys.
Is it Wild Boys?
Yeah, Wild
God.
Boys.
Simon Le Bon has it's like Lord of the Flies clothing on.
Yeah, and he's strapped to a windmill that keeps the bottom of it is submerges him underwater. It's a fantastic fucking video, and that was on that list that we discussed of showing those. Which once we get back to a public forum, because the technology and copyright issues are they're actually kind of a bitch doing this stuff. Every time I've shown videos, it gets flagged and shut down and blocked. So we just kind of quit doing that. Phil, he backed us up here in the chat. Roger Troutman and Zap, they're from Dayton. So
Dayton.
Yeah, Dayton.
Fact checker Phil.
Yeah, fact checking Phil.
When we're a famous podcast, we'll be like, yeah, Phil's over in the booth. He never gets to talk, but he's over there eating tuna salad.
Eating tuna salad and checking our facts.
and Googling all our facts.
Oh, here he goes. He's got another fucking hard fact here. Simon almost drowned during the video shoot, which makes sense because if you've seen the video, it's like they strapped him up for fucking water torture. He's just spinning on this fucking windmill, and it's not going slow, and he's constantly just being dragged through water, face first, completely submerged from, belly button, up, except he's hanging upside down when he goes through it. So, is it waterboarding? No, but it might be the 80s version of it. I don't know. You tell me.
No, it's a fun fact you don't know that the CIA manual, directly references Simon Le Bon Wild Boys video for Waterboard. And George Bush didn't understand why the CIA wanted to build all these windmills in Afghanistan.
And why they wanted to change everyone's uniform to have armor made from tire treads and shoulder pads.
Yeah, why is the CIA wearing red bandanas all of a sudden around their head? No one knows.
Yeah. What is this? What is this shit that's going on?
God, if we haven't lost you by now, we lost one person. If we haven't lost all of you by now,
we'll get the rest of you. We guarantee.
Yeah,
we're just warming up here. This is what you call in the biz. You call this a warm up. We're gonna get to the actual meat of things.
Yeah, we have some content tonight. It's good content.
Yeah, we have fantastic content tonight. We got a couple videos for you guys to watch. These are good. I think this is quality content. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get into sequels of movies that should have. I'm not taking phone calls tonight, John Weiner. You got yourself in enough trouble.
I just sent John just sent me a text to the Stiff Little Fingers Alternative Ulster video, which is a song we both like. Obviously, everyone should like that song.
Oh, nice.
But I sent him the link to this thing, so hopefully he'll just sign on.
Yeah.
And see what it's about. But yeah, so Jeremy's going to talk about sequels that could have been in the movie world, and then we're going to do our cocktail segment on a cocktail called the Jack Rose.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to discuss George Washington's distillery at Mount Vernon in 1797. We're going to get in the time machine.
Yeah. So
anyway, keep listening if any of that interests you.
Then hang around.
Oh wait, we're back to 11.
Yeah. That's
hang
all right.
around.
We'll whittle them down. We'll get them all down like a nice dirty dozen. Yeah. So
Jeremy and I.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, 11 people watching us is nothing. Jeremy and I have both been in bands where less than 11 people have watched us, so it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I played to a rowdy crowd of 2 before. It's been a good time. Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, Boris Johnson got put in the ICU today.
Woo!
Yeah, we'll call that divine intervention. But or not, which is topical on the first video we're gonna watch. Mike sent me this one. We kind of went through a few different videos to check out today, and we got 3 of them for you. This is the first one. You may have seen it, you may not. It's pretty. It's something. Here, this is
my boy. It's my boy Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah, Kenneth Copeland,
Man.
a preacher. Mike's not going to be able to hear the video, but here we got it for you guys.
Here it comes. Oh yeah. This guy owns 3 private jets.
This is like watching WWE now that they do that with like an empty ring.
with no audience.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes, dude.
Oh, it's fucking. He's possessed.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah. And how do you stay in that?
On you. You are destroyed forever. And you'll never be back.
Who are those guys standing around him? That's what I want to know.
I think that's his posse, I guess. Something. I don't know what it is.
If this was the show Entourage, who is who? I never watched that show, but I know that.
Yeah, it's just the other guys. But imagine the amount of energy you have to keep going to fucking do that. Like to an empty, and like, you know, obviously he's in one of those fucking mega churches, right? You know, they didn't scale down because they need to do something more intimate. They're still in the same fucking place. Imagine what it takes to fucking do that and keep it interesting. Or like to be that hyped up. I don't know if he's like, you know, ripping smelling salts in the back or something. I don't know. But it's kind of a thing. Yeah, I see Casey Hopkins is here. She probably watched WrestleMania. Did you have to pay the full price to watch WrestleMania, or do you get a discount now that like there's no crowd involved? Let us know here in the chat here. Let me and Uncle Fucko know. That's what she called you, Mike.
Oh, Casey's here?
Yeah. She said history with Uncle Fucko. That's what she called your segment.
I can't see her message.
Oh, it's in there. It's in there. There's her name. I see it. But yeah, here. Yeah, we got another one here. This one I found the other day. Yeah, well, here, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, we're gonna play this one. This one I found. This took place in Georgetown, Texas. I don't know the name of the mayor, but he decided to, during a meeting about COVID-19. All these videos are COVID-19 related. It just things bounce that way this week. And, well, he had a bathroom break and hilarity ensues. So check this out, guys. It's pretty good.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try and keep this brief. I won't belabor all the details. I'm sure most of you remember Mr. Guest's presentation last time, and I imagine he's going to hit some of the highlights here in a minute. But the thing is that these deadly infections, there's something we can do about it. And what we can do is call on governmental representatives that are higher up the chain of and ask for action at the federal level. I am aware
No,
of
it's
Mr.
like Naked
Brainerd's
Gun.
concerns that he raised last time, and there would be instances where I
I
actually
said that last
agree
night, but it's
that we
true.
should take action locally first, but there are not
It's like the
any
beginning to that Mr.
PFO
Bungle, the
operations
first
in
Mr. Bungle
Georgetown, so
record.
for us to just say we
Or no,
should
it's not the beginning.
Hi, Kevin. Dude, Rachel JWoww can't keep her shit together.
would be an empty gesture.
Yeah, she cannot.
So
She's fucking weak.
Casey, that's a Jersey
also
Shore
these
reference
diseases-
just for you. Rachel JWoww.
don't know any boundaries. So a state by state approach would just mean that the
Yeah, so so that was our second video in our triptych, our trilogy of COVID-19 videos. So yeah, let us know what you thought of that. Casey said WW is $9.99 a month. So I don't know if that's cheaper than usual, but I guess, I mean, $10.
Wait, can't you just watch it on television?
Well, I guess, not WrestleMania. Maybe I'm showing my age. Maybe I'm showing how much I don't know about the world anymore. I remember you used to have to pay-per-view that shit, and it would cost money to watch those things, and it was always like $40 or something like that, if I remember correctly. But Casey's saying it's just a flat fee of $9.99 a month, and you get everything, which seems more reasonable. But I don't know, man.
It's cheaper now that Andre the Giant's dead. R.I.P.
Yeah.
He's the only reason I would ever watch a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Did you ever see that documentary on HBO that he was on?
It's so
the
good.
one-
I watch it like once a month. It makes me cry.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's great. We got a text from John Weiner. He was gonna call in, but we'll call him in later. We just kind of want to get the show going here, and
I sent him the link.
I'm not ready for him to derail everything. But he does want everyone to know that his favorite song is "Benny and the Jets" by Elton John, which is honestly my favorite Elton John song as well. And he's naked right now drinking vodka, so I'm actually glad we didn't take that phone call. But yeah. Anyways, so how are you? Are you guys doing all right? Getting toilet paper and things like that. I went to the grocery the other day because trying to click list shit was it was out for it would be next Thursday before I even get anything. So I just sucked it up and armored up and took my happy ass down to Kroger and went shopping. And there was no toilet paper, no paper towels, really just nothing to wipe your ass with. And that leads us to the next video. The next video is our friend Adam Mitchell.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I said it last episode. You don't need toilet paper. That every toilet in a home is right next to the bathtub.
Yeah.
Just shit and get in the tub and you're good.
Yeah,
You got nothing else to do. You got all day to get in. It's fine.
Precisely, yeah. You can take multiple showers a day. You just rinse it out, man. Or, there you got old band shirts you don't like anymore. There's a use for them. Yeah. But
I
hey,
have so many shirts.
yeah, it's like, I guess I don't really like that band anymore, or I guess that band broke up and they're
Like all my like all my Morrissey shirts. I used to love Morrissey. Now he's a piece of shit. And I'm just like, fine. I'll just I got toilet paper for years.
Yeah. Laura
Morrissey.
Gerhart, chef Club Black Arm over here. She said she needs to get her bidet hooked up. And it's funny because that's what we're about to talk about. You see, our friend Adam Mitchell, he's my co-pilot on Tiki Night over at the bar I work at, Japs. Mike DJs over there when we do it, and then Adam and I we make these tiki cocktails. We bartend, all that shit, yada yada yada. Adam bought a bidet, and he sent us his reaction video to the first time he used it. And so we felt, since we're all, we all want to be informed citizens around here, we think it's important that you guys watch this video and experience it for yourself, okay? Here we go. This is Adam Mitchell, our friend, doing, you know what he did, but now he's trying out his bidet for the first time.
doing his bidet.
Okay, I'm nervous. This bidet has me nervous. I'm going to try it. I want to, general. Honest reaction! Can really feel those two nozzles. What happens when I turn it up? I'm going to do this for fun. This is so nice. Why have I been doing this the whole time?
Yeah, so that's Adam Mitchell trying out his bidet for the very first time. Yeah. My brother said he uses snot rags. That's, I guess it's kind of like a natural wet nap. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, there's already snot all over him. You might as well.
Yeah, you might as well dive in. I don't know. Fuck. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so those are our videos. That's it for how we feel about COVID-19 right now. You guys let us know how are you guys keeping your nether regions sanitary. Let us know here in the chat how you guys feel about that. Kevin McNair says he's always 2 feet away from the bidet. Oh, we should have got some of those videos that phoned us last night of the people using the bathroom on Zoom and not realizing that they were on camera.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. Yeah, we'll get into some of that shit next week. But yeah. What we have next here, I got a few things. Our first actual, well, I guess this will be our second segment here, other than those videos. We're going to talk about sequels to movies that that were, by all means, they were written, or at least they were close to being made in one form or another, but they just didn't get made. This is a list of some of those. So the first one we're gonna get at, and this one I actually had no idea about, Mike. I mean, we're pretty much the same age. So we remember like the late '80s. Yeah,
we're old.
Yeah, we're a little dusty.
Yeah.
We got a little dust under the wings. Whatever. This one here, like, cause we'll go out, we'll have drinks on Fridays and shit like that, and sometimes we'll go. There's a particular bar restaurant we've been to multiple times, and every time we go in, we see the same movie. We see fucking Willow, which is a fantastic fucking movie. A great movie from 1988, but this movie also from 1988, and it was in theaters at the exact same time. I remember this distinctly. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is what I'm getting at. And
starring Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins and Christopher Lloyd. Doc Brown was the villain.
There's a story where I think Eddie Murphy turned down that role.
Really? He turned down the villain?
If I'm not making that up. The Bob Hoskins role.
Oh, really? Wow, that's crazy. That would have been a completely, I won't say it'd be a completely different movie, but it'd definitely be a different movie, you know?
Fact check me on that, but I think that's true.
Yeah, someone let us know. Yeah. So essentially, Nat Modlin is the name of the guy that wrote the screenplay for this sequel. It was called Roger Rabbit 2: The Toon Platoon. Okay, so dig this. And Nat Modlin, he wrote he wrote for the sitcom Night Court and also Barney Miller. That's what he was mostly notable for. But this here, and I'm going to sway in and out of this a little bit here for you guys, because that's kind of how we do things around here. But the premise of this movie, well, I should give you some backstory. The idea was, I forget the company, was it Warner Brothers or was it Disney that had Roger Rabbit? I feel like it was Disney. It was Disney.
I think it was it Disney?
It was Disney because I believe Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was a Disney movie as well. And for a little bit, when they really were trying to push Roger Rabbit to be like the new Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse or something like that.
But Disney let Jessica Rabbit happen?
And that's something we're going to touch on as well. So,
all right.
Yeah, but not too much. But not about them letting it happen, but about Jessica Rabbit herself. But I mean, that is kind of a weird thing. But also, Disney also has snuck dicks into like the Little Mermaid
everything.
Movie covers. Yeah, there's dicks in everything, in every or something inappropriate in every Disney movie.
Yeah, their whole catalog of like racist crows or whatever, and like Dumbo and
there's a litany of shit that should not be in children's movies that is thanks to Disney.
Yes.
So Jessica Rabbit is probably the lightest of all of that. But the premise of this, and it gets a little weird, is it takes place in Kansas. All right, it's kind of like an origin story at first for Roger Rabbit. It's actually a prequel, if anything. Starts in Kansas. He has an adopted family. He has human parents and shit like that. And then when he turns 18, yeah. He has human parents, and they sit him down one day and they're like, "Hey, you're not a human," and he's just like, "Oh, so is that why everyone stared at me weird in the gym showers, and shit like that?" And so he decides he's going to go out and find his biological mother. And he goes, he does, the typical, I'm going to go out and see the world kind of thing. He starts hitchhiking across America, meets the guy that's going to be his new Bob Hoskins in the movie. And that guy's, he wants to go to Hollywood to be an actor and shit like that. Hilarity ensues. They kind of go their separate ways. Roger Rabbit hears a radio broadcast and thinks the fictional detective that is on there is a real person and would help him locate his mother. And this is where he actually meets his future wife, Jessica Rabbit. And from there, he and with this too, it's not the Jessica Rabbit we know. She's very dressed down, her personality is very muted. She's not the voluptuous femme fatale that she is from the Roger Rabbit movie we know.
It's pre Rumspringa.
Yeah.
Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, well, it gets better. And they explain the way she gets that way, too, right? So at this radio station, all right, and to give you an idea, all this takes place around World War II. So it's weird that you brought up the Dirty Dozen before, because this sort of, it loops back around into that. There's a lot of fear of Nazi spies, and the owner of the radio station, his name is Otto, of all names. He actually is a German spy.
Parts.
Yeah. So, and he ends up kidnapping Jessica Rabbit and takes her to Germany, and they do this and kind of turns her into this Tokyo Rose kind of situation. I'm not sure. I was familiar with the name, but I didn't know what it meant. Tokyo Rose was it was the nickname for this Japanese American that somehow got deported, or she was away when Pearl Harbor happened, and she was actually in Japan when Pearl Harbor happened, and then so she got stuck there, and she was kind of by the Japanese government, she was forced into doing these American propaganda radio broadcasts. They were meant to like sort of demoralize Americans, and her in
Psy warfare, right?
exactly, that's exactly what it was. And so what they did is they did all this shit, and then it kind of like they just left too many people that were prisoners that weren't actually, part of the Japanese government or military or whatever. They didn't have enough of those guys to oversee everything, so they were sort of just kind of tongue in cheek doing propaganda. They were doing it because they had to do it, but it was, if you knew the culture and the language and shit like that, it was definitely not that, essentially,
Gotcha.
So, and that's kind of how she ended up turning like into what Jessica Rabbit is. And I did want to show you a couple things here on the on some slides I have. This is Vicki Douglas. This is the girl, the woman that was she was the inspiration for Jessica Rabbit. This is her walking down the street. This is a Time Life photograph of her walking down the street, and you can tell everyone's looking. Her signature thing was open back dresses, and her nickname was the Back. And it was said often that she was known for having a great exit, is what they said. Essentially,
Like I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you walk away.
Precisely, yeah, that sort of thing. Here's another photo of her, and this will give you a better idea how Jessica Rabbit she is. Like, she really is. You can tell that this is where they got the idea of her from. So essentially, there's that. At some point during this, Roger Rabbit and his counterpart Richie Davenport, they end up in the army. They go AWOL to go rescue her. They do. Hilarity ensues. They win. They end up at a parade in Hollywood. And he actually runs into his mother at the parade. He meets his mother. I guess she sees him on TV or some kind of shit. Who knows? But and he talks to her, and she informs him that Bugs Bunny is his dad. So that's
awesome.
Yeah. So that was the sequel that never happened. Another one that is kind of fucked up. I had no idea about this one. Showgirls. There was going to be a sequel to Showgirls, if you guys remember.
Wow. Starring what's her face from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah, basically she ruined her whole career with that one. But the sequel is going to be called Bimbos, and it was basically. She leaves Las Vegas and goes to Hollywood to, it's whatever her name is, does Hollywood, essentially. It's the same thing. It was going to be directed by Paul Verhoeven, and he's the guy that did he did Showgirls, but I didn't realize he also did Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Starship Troopers, and RoboCop. Which
yes,
I think we should get into this some other time, but I'll just touch on it. If you analyze RoboCop from scene to scene and plot line to plot line, it's actually just short of one thing. It's almost a perfectly symmetrical movie from beginning to end. You could fold it in half, and it's almost completely identical. But yeah, so there's that one.
Also, RoboCop, first X-rated movie, just for violence.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, because there's like the original cut was X-rated because there's that scene where he like shoots him in the dick. When they kill RoboCop, they like shoot his head and they shoot him in the crotch, the dick. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, so it got an X rating, and then they edited it down to be R. But there is an X-rated version that I think you can buy. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I want to check that out. Also, I'm really hoping Detroit gets its legs under itself and actually gets that RoboCop statue that they've been talking about for years. I really fucking want to see that. Like, if we can get a Baphomet in front of I forget where that is, but it's somewhere in front of a state house. If we can get that, we can get a fucking RoboCop in this world. Come on, we can make that happen.
It's in front of the White House right now.
No, is it? No.
No, I'm kidding. That was a bad.
I think it's in like
a bad Trump joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's inside the White House. Yeah. No, I think
it's
there's
inside the.
Yeah. I think it's in like Oklahoma or something. I don't know. But there's another one here too I want to touch on just lightly. There was going to be a sequel to E.T. and it wasn't going to be anything like you expected. It was actually going to be kind of a horror movie. It was called E.T. Nocturnal Fears. And they actually gave you E.T.'s name in it, which was Zrek. Z-R-E-K.
I thought you were going to say Alf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what's Alf's name? Alf has a name.
Gordon Shumway. Why do I fucking know that?
Gordon Shumway. Yeah, no, it is Gordon Shumway. Dude. Yes.
I don't know why I fucking know that, but his name is Gordon Shumway. I don't know why he has it's fucking fantastic. I don't know why he has like a weird like East Coast Jew name. It's fantastic. I love it. But yeah, so Zrek, basically, like some other ETs, you know, they intercept his what was it? Fuck, what is it called? They intercept his signal, you know, the one he sent when he was like, hey, I'm phoning home, shit like that.
Yeah, the phone home.
Yeah, the phone home shit. So that was intercepted by these other bad ETs, and they come down looking for him, you know, and they're kind of collectors and shit like that, and this is what they fucking looked like. This is fucking frightening, guys. This is what the ET villains in the ET sequel would have fucking looked like. So yeah, and they capture Elliot and they kind of like, I guess, sort of, I don't know, torture him as well as you can.
They anally probe Elliot.
Maybe in the director's cut, you know. I don't know, but they were albinos too. That was the difference. And apparently they were like a slightly different race, and they've apparently been at war for years. But these guys had red eyes and they were white, and they were like carnivores, and they were collecting. And apparently on the ship you see a bunch of animals and shit like that. It becomes like a whole weird thing. But E.T. shows up, saves the day. All is well, you know, with that. I got a couple more. I got two more on this. No, I got three more, actually. Another close one. If you've seen the movie from 2016 called Solace, that actually is a repurposed movie. That was originally supposed to be the sequel to the movie Seven. You know, the movie with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. All of that.
Don't forget Spacey. Don't forget Spacey. Man.
Oh yeah, Spacey. Yeah, Spacey as well. All of that
Uncle
was
Touchy.
Yeah, Uncle Touchy. Oh God. I wonder how he's doing with things right now. Yeah, no, but
fuck Spacey. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of feel like he wasn't really acting. It wasn't too much of a stretch for him to do that role, Kaiser Soze.
No.
Might be secretly diabolical. You
Yes.
know, I think we have enough stories now to believe that. But yeah, so the reason why it didn't get turned into 8, which is what they were gonna fucking call it, which is kind of I don't know why they would. I don't, because it's supposed to be the 7 deadly sins. What were you gonna call it? 8? 8 what? But yeah, like I don't know. 8 crazy nights. I don't know. Whatever. So David Fincher, he didn't want to do that movie. He didn't want to repeat himself. Brad Pitt didn't want to do it. Morgan Freeman said fuck it. So they repurposed it, called it Solace, got Anthony Hopkins, Colin Farrell. Done. So they didn't waste the script. That's how that one goes. The next one, and to me this is the fucking weirdest one. The movie Gladiator, which my dad used to watch fucking constantly when it was on cable. There was a good string of years. I'm sure you remember this, Mike, where that movie was just always fucking on, no matter what.
Wait, which one?
Gladiator.
Oh, like Joaquin Phoenix and fucking Romper Stopper, dude.
Joaquin Phoenix and
Anakin Skywalker. Or,
no. It's
yeah.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, didn't he play? No. Yeah, he played. No, he played Romper Stopper, but he's not in Star Wars. I goofed that up.
Okay, yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah, I forget him in Romper Stomper, but yeah, Russell
He's
Crowe.
like the main shithead.
No, that's someone else. That's
It's
wait.
Russell Crowe. Am I
Oh, yeah.
crazy?
No, wait. Not the main character. No, he's not
I
the main
think
character.
so.
I know that. No, that's Edward Norton.
No, you're thinking of American History. You're thinking of
Oh
other.
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
shitty
that's
Nazi
right.
movie.
My
That's American
bad.
History.
My bad. Yeah, that's it.
Romper Stopper is Russell Crowe from Australia.
Okay.
Also, Laura just brought up. Sorry, I got to take this aside. She just brought up the Queen from Return to Oz, who was in the woman in Willow. The
Oh, was she
the
Queen
daughter in
Badmorda?
Willow. Yeah.
Okay, Jean
Not
Marsh.
the Queen. Yeah. The Queen. It's so good. They're perfect. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since we brought that up, and Casey's asking for shots, we'll go ahead and do a shot right quick. So cheers to all you guys watching. Thanks for hanging out.
I only
Cheers.
have my baby beer.
Well, that works.
But-
So cheers, guys. So yeah. So anyways, there was going to be a sequel to Gladiator. And the weirdest part is it was going to be written by... It was written. Actually, there's a complete fucking script for this by none other than Nick Cave. Of Nick Cave and the
Nice.
Bad Seeds. And if you're not familiar with Nick Cave, and I'm sure a few of you guys are, this is what he looks like. This is him and Henry Rollins babysitting together. That's what this picture is. Can you imagine having those two as your fucking babysitter? I mean, look at that. Just look at his face, just staring at this child. I don't know. That's a thing. So anyways, Nick Cave wrote this script, and he's friends with her. That's the thing. And I think that's sort of how this kind of came about.
They're both Australian.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both ridiculously famous for that island, continent.
It's an island.
Yeah, it's just a really big island full of various. It's like if Florida was a country, almost. If anyone from Australia stumbled upon this, we're not sorry. I'm from Florida.
And Jeremy's from Florida.
Yeah, so I can say to this. So Gladiator 2, obviously Maximus is dead. He's dead in this. He dies after the fucking after the end of the first movie. how do you write your way out of that? You don't. You fucking lean into it. And that's what Nick Cave did. So Maximus goes to the fucking underworld, right? All right, and he meets all these immortal Roman gods. And they say, "Hey, we're going to make you immortal, but you need to do something for us." And of course he's like, "Fuck yeah. Whatever." He's told to kill Jesus. So I think the subtitle to this was Gladiator 2: The Christ Killer.
Yes. God, it's like a grindhouse movie.
Dude, well, yeah, exactly. And the thing is like Nick Cave said, like, yeah, I wrote this to be a popcorn dropper. So I've never heard that term before, but that sounds
good.
It's everything I've read so far. There isn't a whole lot of straight facts. There's a lot of conflicting stories about what it is really about. But what I've gleaned from it is he is sent to go kill Jesus. However, his son is an early follower of Jesus, and obviously there's some tension and shit happens with that, and it's hard to tell what happens after that point, but it ends with him, and it continues like the last 20 minutes is just constant war scenes, and it's him going through multiple wars. Like Maximus is going through like the Vietnam War and the Civil War and shit like that, and it just evolves, and it just ends with him being in like the American government or some kind of shit like that. Yeah,
he's Herbert Walker Bush.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But he's immortal, so he just keeps going and going and going. And then I guess when Nick Cave, he knew like it probably wasn't going to get made. He didn't give a fuck, but he showed it to him. He showed it to Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe just looked at him, and this is what he was quoted as saying. He looked at Nick Cave, and he said, "Didn't like it, mate." That's all he said. That was it. That was completely it.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I love that one. The other one that the last one I'm going to leave you with on this here is we do know that there is going to be a sequel made of this movie anyways, and for what I've read, it's not going to be what we're about to discuss. It's now none of the original cast is in it, and I mean obviously you can't have the father because he was arrested for child pornography about 10 years ago. We're talking about Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. The redhead.
Yeah, the redhead guy. He was also in...
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller, which there was a rumored sequel for that, and then John Hughes died. So, whatever. But yeah, with this one, none of the original cast was slated to come back. And it's not really supposed to be a sequel necessarily, but not necessarily a reboot. I don't know. Just when I read that, I don't think I'll watch it. But in 1990, a sequel was greenlit for Beetlejuice, and there was a lot of pressure on Tim Burton to make that. So he wanted to do Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, is what the title was. And that's why I'm showing this slide right here. What he wanted to do was basically, what is the word I'm looking for? He wanted to splice together German expressionism with like a Gidget movie, essentially. Which I don't know how that would work, but yeah, that's what he wanted to do. So would that have been the first beach goth sort of thing? Possibly. I just say I would watch it. Yeah, really. But yeah, I don't know that a full script was written, but that was the thing, and it was greenlit, and Tim Burton really hates doing sequels, so I think that was mostly the reason why it didn't happen. But yeah, that's that, guys. Those are the sequels of movies that were never made, that almost got made, that we almost saw, that we almost experienced.
I love it. I love it. God, Beetlejuice goes Hawaiian. It would be like the Brady Bunch sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't they do that?
Or the classic Brady Bunch episode where they steal the where what Peter, I think it's Peter, steals the tiki idol and then tries to enter a surfing contest and just fucking blows it.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Marie Antoinette and whatever from God, the beach, Back to the Beach movies. What are those guys?
God. Oh, I forget.
It's Marie Antoinette and fuck, I don't remember. Hey, what do you say, Jeremy? Should we do a grab a drink intermission for like 2 minutes?
Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm gonna say.
Bathroom.
Yeah, we're both low on beers right now, so we're gonna grab a beer real quick, and then we got a couple more segments, and yeah. In the meantime, if you want to throw us a couple comments, a couple questions here, we'll do that. But in the meantime, we're gonna leave you with this for a second, and we'll be right back. I'm gonna take a pee.
Show starts in 8 minutes. Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. Promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 7 minutes. It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others go. Pepsi Original. Taste that beats the others go. Pepsi Original.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now. Show starts in 6 minutes.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
I suppose you've come to claim the treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
There's better than gold in here, lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
Just don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Show starts in 5 minutes.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. While you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie. Show starts in 4 minutes.
Visit our snack bar and treat yourself to some delicious Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches. Cook the Castleberry way slowly over open pits of glowing charcoal, then seasoned with a sauce that's zesty, yet delightfully mild to please the entire family. Also at the snack bar you'll find popcorn and soft drinks and candy and French fries to go with your Castleberry's barbecue sandwiches. There's plenty of time before the movie starts, so visit our snack bar right now for Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches.
Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime. Show starts in 3 minutes. Show starts in 2 minutes. Your attention, please. All new Hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Restroom, fixing ourselves up.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Reapply my makeup.
Hey guys, we're back. Thanks for
Yeah,
sticking
we're back.
around and waiting through our intermission there. You guys probably enjoyed those videos more than everything else. Let's do a shot real quick because we got a caller. We got a call-in guest here,
Hey,
and I think
Jeremy.
I'm going to need a shot here before we deal with that.
Jeremy, I'm going to do a shot of this.
Yeah, okay, do that. I got the old granddad over here, the old GD. So, cheers to you
We'll
guys.
tie into our next segment.
Yeah, it'll tie into what we're doing later. Oh yeah.
Here we go, down the hatch.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try. We're not really set up to take calls yet, but we're gonna do it. We got a guest in. His name's Pee Butt. So say hello to Pee Butt, guys. Pee Butt, you're on the air.
You're live on the air.
Yeah, you gotta talk loud. Yeah, you gotta talk louder. You gotta talk really loud. Hold on.
This is great.
About movie sequels,
Yeah.
and I think it's kind of crazy that they never made a second Back to the Future. Don't you think they should have made a second Back to the Future? I mean, the first one was so goddamn good.
Yeah, they only made the prequel, right?
I mean, I don't know if they made anything. They made the first one, and then they just gave up. I don't know, Spielberg. I don't know, man. I thought that there would have been a good second, or it could have been maybe a trilogy.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know what PP Butt likes to do in his spare time?
What does PP Butt like to do in his spare time?
Yeah, what do you like to do?
I like to get a burrito, and I like to take all my clothes off, and I just stare at myself, and I eat it naked.
You just go ahead and moisturize with all the burrito grease.
Yeah, that's what PP Butt likes to do. Hey, I got another thing. You guys have been talking about movie sequels. Hey, let me tell you guys something. I really think there should have been a sequel to the first Back to the Future movie in 1985.
I feel like I'm time traveling now.
Dude, I don't know if you guys. I'll explain it to the fans. It's it's Michael J. Fox. He was very cool, teen heartthrob at the time. Christopher Lloyd. It was done by a director named Stefan Spielberg, and there's this part where the Libyans shoot at him because he stole plutonium, and he gets into a DeLorean, which, believe it or not, are notoriously garbage vehicles, and he goes back to 1955, which is actually a very horrible time of American history. Despite what the film portrays.
Yeah, he goes back in time and has sex with his mother. Well, at least he dry humps her, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's the only part of the movie that PP Butt likes. The mom,
Hey, PP Butt.
Yeah. Wait, I don't think he can hear you, Mike.
I don't think he can hear you. I don't think it's Spielberg. It's Zemeckis, right? It's
Robert
Zemeckis.
Mike can't hear PP Butt because I'm the Colin.
Yeah. No, you can't hear it. We're not exactly we're a real first-rate show around here. No, he's saying he thinks it's Zemeckis.
It's Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah,
Robert Zemeckis was the writer. Steven Spielberg was the director.
Oh, damn, Mike, you got schooled by PP Butt.
Just like Star Wars, I guess. I don't know.
I can even. The other writer was actually Bob Gale.
Bob Gale?
Bob Gale,
nice.
Yeah. And
for the Boomtown Rats? No.
I actually even know who the score was done by, but it's not in my brain right now because I've had a few sips of Sauvignon Blanc.
Are you over there getting Dixie Chicks wasted? Are you in the bathtub right now with the burrito?
No, I just ate some guacamole and threw up in the sink. But that's what
with a spoon
does. Chipotle guac and just puked it up.
Well, you always got a snack for later, PP Butt. That's the thing. We got to conserve around here. We are in a modern depression. So.
Hey, can I talk to you about another movie that I think should have a sequel?
Yeah. One more movie here, PP Butt.
Escape from
Back to the Future?
Escape from New York.
It should have had a sequel where they do it in, like, L.A. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Yeah.
I think that'd be fucking cool.
You know, it'd be really cool, PP Butt, if they had, like, hang gliders, if you put Steve Buscemi in a hang glider
instead of a submarine.
Have you ever seen a better movie than fucking Waterworld?
Waterworld's a pretty good fucking movie.
Hey,
wait. Mike's gonna ask you a question here. What are you gonna say, Mike?
I was going to say, I know that PP Butt likes movies where they drink their own pee.
Oh, yeah. Mike said he knows PP Butt likes to watch movies where they drink their own pee, so he understands why you'd be into Waterworld. Since we know, everyone knows, if you know PP Butt's a big fan of water sports. Uh,
I personally feel like, I mean, at least if you're a man, your favorite movie automatically is Waterworld.
it's got everything a man loves.
Yeah, I
Pee
mean,
drinking.
You got a guy with gills. And
A guy with a guy with webbed feet and a bald spot, and
beats people
Wait.
up. And I think he gets laid. I don't
What's the bad guy's name in that movie? The famous actor?
oh, that's Dennis Hopper's the bad guy.
I do have one
Dennis
other
Hopper.
movie I
Yeah.
wanted to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
That I think should have a sequel.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Back to the Future. But I feel like if they made a second one, like where the Cubs win the World Series, and it's later on in time, and dude, I even had these ideas, like, like what if Marty had like power laces and like a hoverboard, And for whatever reason, man, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, they never really got it together. And I also wanted to talk about an actor that you guys were talking about earlier.
Okay.
It was that guy Jack and Phoenix. Jack and Phoenix. I heard you guys talking about that guy Jack and Phoenix.
Yeah. He was in that Gladiator movie.
Yeah, I personally think it's weird that his name is Jackin.
I think he had some of those hippie parents.
He must be French.
Yeah. He had a brother that died. He died at like from plastic surgery or something.
I'm just saying, how do you get so far ahead in Hollywood with the name Jackin?
Well, he had a famous brother named like Lake or Mountain or Ford or something like that.
Body of water.
Well,
Yeah, some sort of body of water.
I think Jack and Phoenix. He did that Joker movie. I thought it was for fucking wieners. And I don't know. I'm a little older than probably most of your listeners, but I think the best Joker was a gentleman named Jack Nicholas.
All right. Well, thanks for the insight, PP Bud.
He was a golfer, but he was also a really good actor.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholas.
All right. Well, thank you for the insight, PP Bud. We really appreciate you calling in here.
Yeah, no problem. I'll call back in a few minutes.
All right, cool, man. All right, see you soon, okay?
All right, see ya.
All right, bye.
All right. That was PP Butt.
Yeah, that was
somehow we still have 11 listeners.
Oh God, we didn't run them off yet with PP Butt. I guess we still got 2 segments here, guys. So yeah, that was PP Butt. He might own a bar called the Snot Club. Who knows? I don't know. No one knows.
We don't know.
No one knows. We've never seen PP Butt in person before. We've never seen PP Butt tattooed his own stomach. In his bedroom.
All that.
In his bedroom. Yeah. So yeah, we have that. We definitely didn't have that in the script tonight, but hey, that's why it's a live show. We roll with the punches here.
Yeah, and just like everyone during this lockdown, we have a show going. We're down to 10 people now.
Oh, we're losing them.
No, it's good. They'll be back.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about next? We got
we're gonna talk about the Jack Rose.
The Jack Rose cocktail, an infamous drink with many ways to make it, but not as many as the Singapore Sling, which we discussed last episode.
Yeah, that one's got a lot of shit. A lot of different versions. There's actually like at least 10 versions of that one. There's at least 3 that I've seen of this one.
Yeah, it's always between what, lime and lemon juice.
Yeah, lime and lemon. Sometimes people split the grenadine with a simple, I believe. The Wondrous Take is pretty is pretty involved. I believe it also involves whiskey too, but that can be that might be a little pedantic, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to say.
Is John Warren still on here? We did it at Longfellow, and I think we just did either 2 half or 2 3/4. I don't remember, but
Yeah, John Warren,
think-
are you still in the audience? If so, let us know.
I think the good news is you can't screw this drink up, right? It's pretty good.
Well, I will argue you can screw it up a little bit, but in the sense that like you really have to get the balance right. If you use shitty grenadine, then yeah, you fucked up the drink. It's dead on
Right.
arrival.
Okay, yeah, you're right. If you're using good stuff, though.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty solid drink if you're using good stuff. Yeah, with it, there's at least 3 stories of where it comes from, but at least according to Dr. Cocktail here, I'm going to show you the book that I use to reference this.
Ted High.
Ted High.
Ted High.
Yeah, Dr. Cocktail himself. This is actually a pretty good resource if you're getting into classic cocktails. You know, it's not the end-all, be-all of anything. It's definitely, I wouldn't call it a Bible, but it's a really good supplement to learn some good stories. It's really good for the stories, if anything, but it does show you the basics for a lot of these drinks, including this one.
Yeah, the lore is solid, although the seal box in it, which we now know is bullshit.
Yeah, and we should do that one later. We should definitely do the seal box, because I'd love to talk about the seal box at some point, but obviously not tonight. But maybe we'll do that next week. I don't know.
I have a good story about a bar in New York that the guy, he found a recipe in a safe. Yeah, we'll talk. It's the same thing as a seal box, but it was real, but the drink sucks.
Yeah.
It's so good. And he's like, this drink sucks.
Yeah, no, yeah. I actually went to the hotel that it was supposed to be like invented at, and we'll tell that story later. We don't need to tell it now, but let's get to the Jack Rose here. Yeah, go ahead and give some insights on it, Mike.
Jack Rose cocktail. It's kind of a classic sour, right? Like without egg white, but you got base spirit, you got your sweet, and you got your sour.
Yeah.
So I think, as Jeremy pointed out, I think the crucial part to this cocktail is good grenadine.
Yeah.
And grenadine is originally made from pomegranate juice, and the French word for pomegranate is grenada, and that's where the word grenade comes from, like hand grenade, because a hand grenade resembles a pomegranate.
Now, let me ask you this. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know the recipe for it, but is that sort of where the grenade drink, the really popular like red, gross, fucking sugary sweet drink in New Orleans?
Oh, like from New Orleans, probably. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah, are we drawing lines together on something?
I mean that. Without knowing anything about it, that makes a lot of sense, because Grenada is certainly the word for, pomegranate in French.
Yeah.
And I feel like anything that's sticky, sweet, and red in the old bar world was probably grenadine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that's a good what do you call that?
Context clue? I don't know.
Allusion, context, chain of events.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. I don't know. We're bar people. We're not, we're not historians here. We do this shit very loosely.
Well, no, I mean, I just think I don't know the history of the grenade from New Orleans. I've definitely been there and seen the inflatable grenade guy selling you like a tube of red drink, so it makes total sense. But
Okay.
I do know that.
Yeah, Adam Mitchell
do
is
know that-
over here telling me he thinks it's mostly melon liquor, but I don't know.
Oh, because it's green like a grenade.
I guess I don't know. Adam, why don't you go ahead and Google it and send us, let us know, because our hands are a little tied right now. You know, this is a 2-man operation. It's a little hard for us to Google while we're talking. No one wants to watch us Google things.
But we do know that the Jack Rose, one of the most important ingredients is grenadine, and making your own grenadine is super easy. And there's what is that brand? Roses.
Rose's. Rose's famous for making Rose's lime juice, which is actually a lime cordial, not actually lime juice.
Yeah, no lime, just all sugar, right? Like,
It's just sweet and green, and sort of lemon or lime. I mean, something like that. But the Jack Rose cocktail, yeah. The biggest, like you alluded to before, it's highly contested on which sour agent you use. Is it lime or is it lemon?
I've seen some with both.
I actually, the version I've made a lot of times is I do 50-50 myself, because my first real experience with it, I mean, I made it a few times, just like the typical. Kind of a very off-balance version of it, very similar to what is in this book. I will say that the version in this book might be a little off-balance. I think it leans a little sour, but the version I made was a little too sweet. And then I read the David Wondrich version, which does a hybrid of both lemon and lime, and I forget the rest of it. It escapes me right now, but I thought that one was the best version I've had.
What, the too sweet version or the too sour version?
No. Actually, there's 3 versions. The version I'm looking at in this book, which the way it reads a little too sour, because it's asking you to do half a lime or an ounce of lemon.
Huh.
That's a really weird sort of. I could understand if you would do 0.75 lemon, but I don't think the sweetness difference between lemon and lime is that big. I don't think it's a half ounce difference. And then it says 2 or more dashes of grenadine, and that's not enough grenadine in my opinion. I don't know.
But tastes back then were, candy and corn syrup, and everyone liked licorice and horehound and not nerds and Twizzlers. So
no,
it makes sense.
You're correct. It reads the earliest recorded history of it is 1931. So that would have been before Prohibition. So and it would have been around. Definitely at least a couple years at least before that publication date, because that's recorded history. That doesn't mean it wasn't around for a couple years before that. 1931, definitely before Prohibition, I believe. Correct? No, I forget. Whatever.
That's the year of Prohibition, right?
Okay, yeah, something like that. I know it lasted 10 years.
No, if it lasted 10 years, you could drink in 1941. So, but
okay, yeah.
We should know this. I think we're just late night drawing a blank.
Yeah, I think so. We'll fact check
Someone
ourselves.
chime in.
Yeah, chime in, or we'll just end up fact checking ourselves next week. Okay, Adam Mitchell does have the ingredients for a hand grenade. Traditionally, vodka, gin, rum, melon liqueur. Okay. He says they add citrus at Old Kentucky Bourbon Bar for balance, and also so people wouldn't die. That sounds like a mess. I don't think we really need to really go off anything involving that. If your traditional version of that drink involves three different fucking three different spirits, completely different spirits, and then melon liqueur, I think we're fine with that. Yeah, but
Prohibition ended in 1933. So
okay. So I got that ass backwards. Okay, so yeah, I mean that ingredient, that recipe makes sense, because
yeah, a lot of booze.
Yeah, in that case,
all the
yeah, because this recipe also reads 1.5 ounces. It's I don't know. It's definitely. I mean, at that time too, they're also using a lot of bootleg liquor, so they're covering shit up. They're not trying to. They're not balancing really good stuff. They're covering up shit that's technically illegal. You know.
Right, which is a lot of those weird 20s era drinks that were just like liquor bombs because you were going out trying to drink.
yeah. You're like in a weird back basement of some establishment, just trying to pound them as long as you can until the cops come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like that Adam or John Gerhard just asked who invented the Jaeger bomb.
That's a good fucking question, and I don't think I have an answer to that.
No idea.
Yeah. Also, here's a picture of the Jack Rose, and Mike, who's been drinking apple brandy at this time. He's actually drinking that. That's from Watershed.
Yeah. So our version, we made one at Longfellow, and our version was that version you see in that picture was 2 ounces of apple brandy. You could use Laird's Applejack, really any apple brandy. And then 3/4 of homemade grenadine, because the grenadine, as we discussed earlier, from roses is bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We used lemon juice because I like the lighter citrus rather than the lime juice. But so we just did 2 ounces of brandy, 3/4 grenadine, 3/4 lemon juice. And we thought it was delicious, and it sold really well, so I guess people are delicious. The Prohibition drinks, I think, like he was reading from that book that seems unbalanced, I think it was just everyone wanted to get drunk. It was during Prohibition, you could still drink, but a lot of those cocktails are just liquor bombs. So you have nuanced cocktails that came out afterwards, nuanced cocktails from before, and I think that's what makes this drink so interesting. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh no! I definitely agree. To go back to what you're saying about the citrus, I agree with you on the lemon. Like I said, I typically do a hybrid on this one, but if I have to pick one or the other, I'm going with the lemon because apple brandy or Applejack, and we'll get into Applejack as well. Applejack and Calvados and things like that, and we'll kind of lightly touch on the differences between that. We're not going to bore you with all the details. But it's excuse me, it is like apple brandy leans itself more towards like a whiskey as far as how it blends with a hard citrus. So I think it's good to lean that way as opposed to a lime, which is going to lend itself better to something a little more light and grassy, like say a tequila or a rum or a mezcal or something like that. It can go either way, but I hear that. Yeah, and you're allowed to break the rules by all means. Those are just guidelines. That doesn't mean you can't step outside them. And there's a lot of examples where that happens. But I don't know. kind of how I feel about the Jack Rose. There's, like I said, there's 3 different stories, but really the most obvious one is probably the fact that it was originally made with Applejack. And we'll explain the difference between Applejack and Apple Brandy, even though it's the same fucking thing. And the fact that it was a rose-colored drink is really the big thing behind that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm also like people are asking me about pee butt, so I'm just trying to like let them know what's up with pee butt. But anyways, sorry. Applejack. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Applejack and Apple Brandy.
Yeah, so even though we goofed up Prohibition.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like a mortal sin as a cocktail bartender, but hey, whatever.
Is it? I don't know. Like, most of those drinks during Prohibition suck.
Yeah, they're just meant to cover fucking shitty booze, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's most of our job is like everyone reads about cocktails and figures out a Prohibition drink and is like, can you make this drink for me? And we're like, yeah, but it's changed. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I think the Jack Rose is still a good drink if it's made right. The recipe you said with like.
With the blended, with a little bit of whiskey and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry, I was reading. But I do think the most important thing is making your own grenadine is super easy now that the fact that POM, that brand POM, makes pomegranate juice easy to obtain.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is make a syrup with POM. Add a little orange flower water. We do, I guess we do equal parts sugar. We use a little pomegranate molasses, which is used heavily in, I guess, Middle Eastern cooking.
Yeah.
But it's basically just a reduced down, pomegranate syrup, just cooked down, made real thick. They call it pomegranate molasses, but a little bit of that, a little bit of orange blossom water, equal parts pomegranate juice, whether it's from fresh pomegranates or POM, and sugar. And you have your own grenadine, and it lasts forever, and it's delicious. And then mix that with apple brandy and citrus of your choice, and you have a great Applejack or Jack Rose cocktail, but Applejack cocktail, I was going to say. But I guess you were saying, Applejack is kind of an American thing. It's the American take on Calvados.
Yeah.
And America's first, you said it was distillery number 1, right?
Yeah, distillery number 1. Exactly. Because every distillery in the country does have a number. They have their own their identifier number for what order they are in the world as far as what distillery. Laird's Applejack, the Laird distillery started in 1780. Distillery number 1. It was by William Laird's grandson, Robert Laird. He's the one who turned the. It was a local tavern. It was a tavern, but so almost for 100 years, and then he's the one that turned it into an actual official distillery, and it officially received distillery number 1 in the country. So and they still tout that. It's no longer on the bottles, but when I first started bartending, I don't know, like 8 years ago, it was actually on the bottles, distillery number 1, like 0001.
Huh.
So, but no longer on the bottle for whatever reason. I don't know why. That's something I would tout. But yeah, also called Jersey Lightning, Applejack.
Jersey Lightning.
Yeah, we were discussing that because it takes place. It came from like the East Coast, right? Am I correct?
Well, yeah, because at the time there was only the East Coast.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'm not being a dick. I'm saying that it comes from that, but I'm assuming it must have come from, the need to. I can turn anything I have with sugar into alcohol.
Yeah.
And as we know, if you don't know, I'm sure you know, most of the people listening, there's only 12 of you, and you all probably work in bars or know someone that works in bars, but brandy is the generic term for any, distillate made from fruit. So it could be, plums, apples, pear brandy is a big thing. But in America, what do we have? We have a ton of apples. Also made in, France under the name of Calvados or Calvados.
Yeah, Calvados.
And, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was looking some of this up earlier today too. There's 4 different AOCs for Calvados or Calvados. Like an AOC, if you don't know, is it's a French term, appellation of contrôle or something like that. It's basically, it means if you want to make this certain spirit, you have these certain rules. The best way for you to understand that would be Kentucky straight bourbon. That would technically be an AOC. Or Tennessee whiskey. Those would be AOCs. You have to follow a certain list of rules to make this, to be able to call it that, and to make Calvados. And you see this with basically any French spirit. You see this with French Caribbean rum. You see this with you see this with cognac. You see this also with a lot of wines. So you see it with champagne specifically.
I think champagne's the biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah, champagne's probably the biggest one out of all of them. Yeah. But yeah, and we won't get into that. There's a lot of details of this, which would really kind of distract from the main point. But Calvados, Applejack, and you can attest to this, Mike. I've had these both side by side. I've had the one that you can commonly get here in Ohio.